Welcome to another episode of the Pencil Pushers Project. If this is your first time listening to our podcast, we primarily discuss pop culture, a little bit of music, a little bit of current events, a little bit of sports, and a little bit of TV and movies. Appreciate you for tuning in. And I go by the name of Jay.
I'm Zay, here for episode 43.
Good to see you, bro. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm trying to make it through the school year. I got homework I still got to do.
Trying to make it. Did you just start?
I just started. I feel like
trying to make it. Like, week one.
This week this semester going to be a wild one. It's just a lot going on. Like,
how many classes are you taking?
5, and it's like the biggest mistake of my damn life. I thought I could handle 5 because I took 5 before, and I was like, I can.
Yeah, but all 5s aren't created equal.
Where were you when I was registering?
I would have told you to get the fuck out of there.
Oh, man.
But yeah, man.
And I'm taking my Japanese class. My Japanese class is actually my biggest issue because our Japanese department is really strict. So they just make everything like hella tedious for nothing. And that's kind of like all my other classes are fun. But this Japanese class,
as far as like the assignments and stuff, they're like tedious, or the homework or whatever.
Yeah, it's just a lot of tedious stuff that we got to do and manage, and then and it's like damn near impossible to cheat because it's easy to cheat on Spanish. You can cheat on Spanish work all damn day. Japanese though, and they be giving like time. All my classes, the quizzes are unlimited time. My Japanese class, 14 questions, 10 minutes. It's like, come on, man.
Good luck.
Good luck, bitch. That's kind of like what it is.
Yeah, man.
It's irritating.
Well, hopefully you can power through it. It's a nice hoodie you got there, brother.
Thanks.
Where'd you get it?
Perimeter. I got it from Perimeter.
Whoever's the person who this may be meant for, they get it. They understand it. All right, man. So we
how are you?
Yeah. Oh, I'm good, man. No complaints. It's kind of warm today, which I'm not complaining about at all.
I don't get that. I don't get this weather, man. This weather's like throwing me off.
I don't question it. If it feels good, then I'm rolling with it. I walked out the house. In the morning, I had a jacket on. I went to work out, and then when I was on the way here, I was like, I probably don't need. Well, I have the jacket in the car because I might need it for later when it cools down. But it feels pretty good, man. This week has been pretty good. It's all it's kind of weird. Like it's even like with a shortened week, I guess so to speak, from MLK. It always seems like it's like super busy, even like with that day. Of like it's weird. Like when I used to work like a 9 to 5, that'd be like the worst thing in the world. He's like, oh man, I got a 4 day week.
Yeah.
And then you come to work on that Tuesday, and they busting your ass to the ground. Oh, nigga,
Catch up, nigga.
Yeah, we getting them 8 hours back, nigga. They gonna find a way, man. But yeah, so all in all, man, pretty good week. Let's go ahead and start. I don't want to say get this out the way, because I don't want to sound insensitive, but we kind of got some bad news. I feel like it's almost like I was telling you earlier. I don't want to say we should make a segment, but it kind of feels like we should kind of just give a little bit of a sidebar to those who have passed away. For those of you who are listening, we've lost 2 iconic figures, Hank Aaron and Larry King. For those of you who don't know, I think Larry King passed away this morning. He's a legendary TV and radio host. He's been doing interviews for way longer than
6 decades. They said it was like 6 decades.
Yeah, way longer than you and me have been alive. I know he had recently tested positive for COVID, like during the holidays. So I'm not sure that was the exact cause of death. I don't want to say that for sure, but that is what I do remember being reported a few weeks ago. He was 87, so I don't want to say this in a bad way, but 87 is a long life to live. So
yeah,
he's accomplished a lot in that time. So I think it's cool to at least be able to say that he's lived a long life and he's accomplished a lot of things. I don't have a particular favorite moment of mine, but I mean, you showed me the Khaled interview, which was kind of funny.
The Khaled interview was
funny. I remember that. So, yeah. But, I mean.
I think, I don't know. It's very sad. If you do any type of, I feel like if you just do any type of media, honestly, any type of entertainment media, like, you know, you're familiar with Larry King. There's no way, it's not possible you're in any type of entertainment and you never heard of Larry King.
Yeah. It's one of those. He's just one of those people. Is a household name. So for some reason, if you haven't seen his face, you've heard his voice. So, rest in peace to Larry King.
Rest in peace. I didn't know he did the OJ. I didn't know that happened during his show.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah. So we also have the legendary Hank Aaron. Again, if you don't know who Hank Aaron is, you really should know. Definitely a pioneer in the baseball space in terms of like breaking, color barriers with black men being able to play baseball. Civil rights icon. He's pretty much a legend as well. He dubbed as a home run king. I do believe he 755 homers.
Yeah, I think so.
But yeah,
I think so.
So his record speaks for itself. He's been I know he's been living in Atlanta for forever. He's a big staple here in Atlanta. And once again, incredible contributions that he's been able to accomplish in his life. So he passed away at the age of 86. Not sure the cause of death, but again, I try to look at these situations in totality. Basically, in my estimation, anything over 70, bro, I think is a long life lived.
Yeah, and especially to accomplish what they accomplished, it's a they had 2 very successful lives, and that's kind of how I viewed it with both of them. Is it sad? Yes, but you can't take away the accomplishments of these two because they were. I mean, the amount of accomplishments they had it's really crazy when you really think about it for any amount of time. But even at 80, it seemed like they still were trailblazing, especially Larry King. Like he was still out there, still getting big time interviews. Did you know he interviewed Richard Nixon? I didn't know he was like.
I haven't seen it, but
I saw they played it on CNN. I was like, how long has this dude like really been?
No, I mean, I can imagine anybody of any real significance. He's probably sat down with him. He's probably sat down with him. So we want to just again send our condolences to the families of Hank Aaron and Larry King. We just want to, like I said, I look at it as a acknowledgement of the accomplishments of their life and living a full life. So we salute both of these gentlemen, and we just wanted to make sure we did not overlook that. So let's get into inauguration.
Before we do that, I have a question. Like a real question.
I hope so. Yes. What's up?
Where do you think the 5-second rule derived from? What do you think was the situation that caused the 5-second rule? I'm serious. What do you think happened?
What are you talking about? Like food?
Like dropping your food on the ground. What situation do you think caused that?
Being hungry. What the fuck? I think if someone was hungry enough and they justified it by just trying to say, I've heard, there's 10-second rules for some niggas. There's
What's your second rule?
10.
10?
Yeah.
That's a long time.
What's the difference between 5 and 10?
It's 5 seconds.
So if you don't get there by 6, it's a wrap.
It's done.
It's over.
It's over for you.
You ungrateful. You ungrateful. Nigga, they never starved before. Nigga, they never went through no struggle before. You'll let that
Do you sneak and eat it? If you drop it on the ground and you're
you can't be a complete heathen. You gotta kind of have some discretion. You can't be like. That's another thing too. Like that premise is based off of like, you know, if you're at home, if I'm at home, yeah, I grab that shit. It's my house. Fuck out here. But like if I'm out and about, depending on where it landed though, if it landed like on the concrete or something like that, fuck.
Oh no, fuck that.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta charge.
That's done.
Sometimes you gotta charge to the game. Sometimes you may drop something and it may still land. It may like the rapper might still have it secured. Like, oh, thank God. But
do you like try to like place it to the side like you're not gonna eat it? And then you like, and then
yeah,
when and then you let time go by, you're like, all right.
Yeah, you put it in a bag like you're going like I'm gonna dispose of it later, and then you put it in the bag, but you just take the bag and walk off. It's like yeah. So, yeah, I mean, there's different factors, but there's a general. You know, for me, it's 10 seconds. Where it came from, some hungry people who was like, yo, it's still good.
It's funny the things that humans do. Like, we do it naturally, and then when you say it out loud and put it in the context, you're like, man, like, I'm really wild.
But, you know, it's funny because like, we made that shit up. Like, animals will let shit drop all day, and then they just go right back to...
They be like, But then but the problem is we have logic and science. So since we know all this stuff, we're like...
Yeah, these are like, what do they call it? Societal norms. We're trying to break the barriers. Break the 10-second barrier. Yeah, man. So it's just, you know, it's like I said, there's different factors, but generally 10 seconds for me. As long as it's hit something that wasn't like where you gotta like just charge to the game. Like if you're out like if let's say you're like at a festival or something like that. And let's say you drop something on the grass, and it's just like, damn,
that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
So yeah, so there's different conditions,
different tiers,
conditions. Yeah, there's different conditions. So,
all right, that was it.
All right, so I know you were excited Wednesday morning to wake up and you couldn't go to bed last night. You couldn't go to bed Tuesday night. You was like a kid on Christmas.
That's not what happened.
You woke up, you skipped school. Hey, teach, not gonna make it. Joey Badass is being inaugurated. So, the inauguration. I didn't watch it. You watched it. So this is your segment, brother. This is your.
I'm gonna talk about.
You're horrible. What second is that? That's the.
It hit my cheek. I was cool.
Well, there you go. Time's up.
5 seconds. It's time's up now.
All right, so the inauguration. Take us through your emotional roller coaster of feelings.
Well, I didn't really have an emotional roller.
Dang.
You know what's weird is I used to be when I was in the Navy. I was a ceremonial guard, so we actually did like the inaugurations and the big time funerals. So I think it was more for me. It was like it was kind of surreal because it was like, damn, I know what y'all went through. I know what y'all are going through. You know, just standing there having to hold the fucking, because I was that guy. It's kind of weird looking at. And what you got to say? I know you got something. You got something funny to
say. You're thinking about like the Navy niggas, not even about like, damn brother, I know what you're going through.
I mean, yeah, that's kind of.
So what were your You watched it? You watched most of it, all of it?
I watched the whole thing, except I didn't catch like none of the concerts and shit.
Oh, so most of it. All right. Any takeaways? Any
They gonna have to. I wonder how long they're gonna keep this super tight security up with Joe Biden. Like, I mean, we got the money to keep it up forever, but I wonder if they're actually gonna do it. That did cross my mind. Not saying I want something to happen to him, but after that Capitol thing, you kind of realize anything is possible. So,
well, I don't know. I mean, just my estimation. I don't know if they're really gonna do anything to Joe Biden, because I think the result of that would be Kamala Harris as the commander in chief. And I really think they would.
They definitely don't.
Yeah. So to me, I feel like they would be like, nah, we not rolling with that. Yeah, I didn't watch it, but I know there's a lot of people, at least I saw on my timeline, who were really just the whole situation with, you know, Kamala Harris being, pardon me, the history that she's making, and being sworn in. Yeah, I did see that fucking Bible that he got. That Bible Joe Biden had his hand on. when he got sworn in, he got that thing was like this tall, bro. It was like, yo, what version of I was?
They really went all in. They got like Thurgood Marshall's Bible for Kamala Harris. Then they had like the first black somebody swear, or the first Latino something swear her, first Latino Supreme Court justice swear her in. It was, I think that was the one thing I did definitely take away was that they're like, one thing you're definitely not going to call this administration is racist.
Well,
because they went all in.
Yeah, I think this is part of what they're trying to do, just try to incorporate people in certain positions and make history in different sectors. And but yeah, man, I like I said, I'm just going off of some of my like Facebook feed and stuff like that. A lot of people are emotional, particularly with like I said, Kamala Harris.
People were complaining about Lady Gaga. I don't know why. Everybody was like, why didn't they get somebody black? I'm like, shut up. Like shut up.
Well, Chrisette Michelle was available, but y'all canceled her after Trump. After Trump.
Y'all did though.
Yeah.
It was.
Why y'all did that, by the way? Y'all would be ashamed of yourselves.
She didn't deserve to get canceled.
Not for that.
Well, let's just be honest. If the president called you to do anything, you're saying yes. Like, be 300 with yourself right now.
And an inauguration is not like an endorsement. It's just basically like showing respect. And she was trying to like basically be like a bridge between people. Hey, we disagree, but hey, we're
here.
Yeah.
See, Chrisette Michelle was on the Unity before everybody.
Yeah.
She was there.
And y'all
canceled her.
Exactly.
For what?
Knocked her out the paint. Do y'all even follow her on social media? Nope, because y'all are miserable. y'all are despicable people. But I don't know what the situation was with Lady Gaga.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. People were talking about how she was dressed because she had like the big Mockingjay thing. But I thought her outfit looked kind of dope. Actually, and for Lady Gaga, it was really toned down.
I was gonna say, I'm sure she could have came as like a meatloaf.
She dressed like, I think people forgot, like, no, she came dressed as like meat one time.
Yeah.
So, honestly, her wearing this, I don't even understand what y'all are mad about.
Light work.
I think the funniest one was who was the country singer they had? Fuck. Who? Garth Brooks came. Garth Brooks came in after like Garth Brooks, like yo, I don't know. I guess because everybody else was wearing like suits and shit, and then Garth Brooks came in wearing jeans with the big Texas buckle, and then Garth Brooks was just like.
Speaking of dressing down, Bernie came in that bitch.
Bernie said, "Fuck it,
hey, man. I gotta make a bank deposit. I slide through this thing real quick though."
Y'all invited me. I guess I'll stop by and see what's going on.
I saw the resurrection of like how they used to do the memes where they used to put people in like different places.
They
did that with Bernie. I've seen some funny ones. I saw like the Where's Bernie where they put him like in like the Where's Waldo books.
but honestly, I don't think what Bernie did, like some people were like, oh, Bernie should have been better. And so I'm like,
This is the one that got me, bro. Yeah. So, I
didn't really have an issue with what Bernie was wearing.
Sometimes, man.
It's cold as fuck out there.
I mean, how old is Bernie? Like 80 something?
Yeah, I was saying Bernie's like
old niggas. You don't really. I'm not finna press no old person about
their dress.
When I get 80, I get to wear what the fuck I want. Like, you out your mind. So. And it wasn't even like out of pocket. He just was comfortable. So
they had the Fulton County fire. I don't know if you heard about that. The fire department chief is a black woman. Mm-hmm. They had her. I think she said the Pledge of Allegiance, if I remember correct. And then that's. I've been saying this to everybody. Atlanta saved politics, and it's a fact. Everyone knows it too. Atlanta, and I think Biden knows that.
Well, I think that's what we kind of saw with Georgia turning blue, and just. I know you're talking about Atlanta specifically, but
even with the presidential election too.
Yeah,
like I really think Atlanta like saved you niggas for real.
Yeah.
Well, and people, I don't know. People are. Maybe people weren't going to view it that way, but when you really think about it, that's kind of like what it was. I think Biden, Kamala, I think everybody in that White House know that, which is why they brought in the Fulton County Fire Department lady, because they're like, yeah, y'all where would we be?
How long are you giving Joe Biden to give you the 1,400 before y'all scream for impeachment?
End of February.
Yeah, that's generous.
I mean, because Trump ain't living with anything.
I know, but I'm
like Trump, real shit. Like, didn't leave that man with nothing. So I know he has to make everything from scratch again. And then on top of that, the senator. Maybe I'm thinking of it from too logical of a standpoint, but I mean, you just had a whole house. You finally have a 50-50 Senate. You know, like, it's a lot of shit that's gonna have to change. So, realistically, I'll give it to February, mainly because I know he's not gonna waste time. With a new strand of the virus out, it's too much going on now.
He's already signed a good deal of executive orders, just out the gate, for different things. So I know he's definitely trying to get right to work, get right to business. I know he's trying to roll out some sort of, I don't want to say lockdown, but like just kind of basically getting a hold of the coronavirus, getting the situation. He's got a lot on his plate. He's got a lot on his plate that he has to do. So,
you think we're gonna go to another lockdown?
It's gonna depend on it's gonna depend on the cases, and I guess it would also probably depend on like this the newer strain of COVID and how that has impacted people. So if those numbers go up to crazy amounts, or like the strain starts having like these really, really severe effects on people, and it spreads not even to just like from an older demographic, but even like spreads to like younger demographics having severe effects of it, I think those would be the indicators if for like another lockdown. So, but it's outside of that, I don't see it. I think they're trying to get those vaccines rolled out primarily.
Definitely. So I would think that's their biggest concern.
Yeah,
and convincing people to actually take it.
Yeah,
because that's another.
Yeah,
that's gonna be another. That's a whole other issue on top of not having enough.
Yeah.
How do you convince people to even take it?
He's balancing two. Yeah, there's two. It's like you said, twofold. So they're already dealing with like a low supply, in conjunction with, getting people to take it. So, but yeah, that's.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I wanted to finish talk. Something else that happened in Inauguration. Did you hear about the poem? The really long poem? That was like, I think it was like 5. I want to say it was like 5 minutes.
A poem?
Yeah. Picture a 5-minute bar fest. 10 minutes. Picture 10 minutes of nothing but bars being spit at you.
Joe was spitting?
No.
Oh,
some black girl.
She had a yellow one?
Yeah, the yellow with the red.
Yeah, I just, like I said, I saw like pictures and stuff, but.
Her poem was hard, though.
Do you know her name?
No.
All right.
I don't remember. Right. I know she was 23, and she's from L.A., but I don't remember her specific name.
The Hill We Climb, Amanda Gorman. Yeah, I looked it up because I wanted to give her
I don't know what a youth poet laureate is.
Her recognition. So
I think they specifically invented that position just for that poem, to be honest.
It's the first ever. So yeah.
Oh, okay. So, there you go.
So yeah. But no, that was another thing as far as like the emotional responses. Like a lot of people said that was a really powerful poem. So
it was a really good poem. It was a bit drawn out for me, but it was really good. She can write.
Look at you, young niggas. 5 minutes. Oh my god,
bro. It was like, I mean, I don't know. I felt like she was just up there for real.
Come on, man. If you watched,
I think it was because I was washing dishes and I finished washing the dishes and she was still there. I'm like, okay, like
you said that was bars. Like
it was bars.
Battle rap is about on par. Battle rap versus them rounds be about maybe 3 to 5 minutes. They be spitting.
Remember how we felt about the Knife Wonder? Not Knife Wonder. What's the dude from the Roots? The Black Thought album.
Black Thought.
Remember we were like, yo, we get it. Like, bar. That's kind of like where I hit. And then, but here's the thing. When I hit that point, literally the moment the poem ended. So so it wasn't that bad.
but I mean, like I said, I think that was another highlight again as far as
definitely highlight.
What I was seeing on my like I said, on the feeds I was looking at. So shout out to Amanda Gorman.
Then you had J-Lo. J-Lo did something. She sung, but I don't remember what she sung. Fuck. Because you know what's crazy? Mm-hmm. When I first turned it on, the first person I saw was A-Rod. And I'm like, why the fuck is A-Rod out there? I was just like, so I saw A-Rod. A-Rod was like the first thing I saw when I turned on my TV. And I said, whoa, what is he here? I thought he was cool with like Kamala or something. Like I was just like, was he secretly cool with Biden or some shit? Like how did he get up there?
Well, might be. You never know whose circles they be in. But yeah, anything else from the
any more takeaways? It's gonna be a long 4 years. I don't think it's gonna be boring. Yo, do you miss Trump being on Twitter?
Do I miss him being on Twitter?
I kinda miss it.
Why do you miss it?
I don't know, man. That nigga used to say some wild shit. Like, think about it. Think about how boring the presidency is about to be, which is good. But you're telling me you're not going to sort of miss, like, Trump being on... I ain't going to lie. I wanted to hear everything Trump had to say that entire inauguration.
I mean...
I did.
I didn't miss it. I don't... To be honest with you, he'll be back. It's not like they can't banish him, like... Why not? Like every platform has tried, and you know, at some point he'll resurface
with a fucking $100 million deal. Because whoever signs him first.
Like I told you last week, man. When you shun somebody out, that speaks to a demographic of people, and they're gonna say, "Yo, if we're gonna try to silence and control the narrative of everybody who doesn't agree with our motives, then we need an outlet that's going to allow us to have a different motive. And then once that outlet presents itself, Trump may find himself attached to that outlet. The problem I think that Parler had was they was attached to Google or Apple.
Yeah.
So that was the fuck up that they made. Otherwise, I think they'd have been straight. So I think Republicans got to realize, or not even Republicans, but conservatives or whatever you want to call it, the media game, you got to have your own space to play it. Otherwise, if you're trying to play under the rules of Twitter and Facebook and Instagram, the narrative's only going to go one way, especially now. So
yeah, I think whoever signs Trump first is going to make a lot of money.
Yeah, so I mean he'll be back.
But I was curious. I really just want to know like what he was thinking during the inauguration. Like what do you think he left that? Did you hear about the letter he left?
Fuck you.
That's what you think is in it? I've been sitting here like, yo, for Biden to say, because most of the time the presidents read it, but Biden said, I want to talk to Trump first before I read this out. I'm like, that letter was just a wild shit.
Dear Joe, you thieving ass nigga. Y'all know y'all stole them votes. But I'm going to get you. Sincerely, the Don.
Bruh, I hope what if Joe never reads that letter? I'll be so disappointed. I want to know what he said so bad.
He not going to read it. He not going to.
You don't think he's ever going to give it to us?
Nah. I think they're trying to put Trump in the rear view. So anything that would lend themselves to giving him any level of attention, they're going to be like, nah, we're not
doing that.
We're not finna do that. We're moving forward. They're basically, because right now, at this point, like you said, Trump is, I don't want to say an afterthought, but he's been quiet. There's no outlet for him right now. So the last thing you would want to do is try to weave him back into the mix. When you're trying to move far away from that as possible.
I think what turned him into the afterthought was him not going to the inauguration. I think that's what did it.
Well, that too. Yeah, that helped. That I think that also lended to that.
Yeah, it more so fueled the fire or fueled the flames too.
Well, I think it was just like the nail in the coffin. Like I said, that was just like the final fuck you. It's just him not showing up. So,
except whatever's in that letter.
Yeah. So I mean, you know, that's where I'm at. So I think right now, like you said, because at this point, because even now, the American people, they said, all right, Trump is gone. That was their quote unquote priority. Now you niggas is on the clock. So now you niggas on the clock. So Trump is going to be a talking point, I think, for a little bit longer, but at a certain point, he gone now. So,
what y'all gonna do for me?
Yeah.
You think people are actually gonna hold him accountable?
I think, yeah, especially the people who, like you said, like we said, Atlanta, and specifically black folks
won that election,
got y'all in the office. Yeah. So now, I think the thing that we didn't do previously was really talk about what agenda do you have for us, not for minority groups, but for like black people. Mm. So now the pressure is on, because we're gonna say, yo, we gave you our vote. We you know what I'm saying? Y'all text the shit out of us. Y'all came to our houses. Mm-hmm. So when we press y'all, I don't want to hear shit. So
yeah, that's true.
And to me, honestly, like that's kind of the way it should have been like that. Like we give our votes to people. We should be on their neck about what they have been doing.
And yeah, that's true.
Like for real, because that's supposed to be the exchange. Like a vote is not supposed to be like a free. Like it's not a donation. The vote comes with a promise. So, so that's So I think there's definitely gonna be
people on their head now.
Yeah, even with Kamala, people love like I said, first black VP, but still, the point is, people are looking at, younger people especially, they're looking at the political landscape as a, what are you guys gonna do for us? We excuse me, and I just remember being younger, and I don't know if I don't remember us kind of doing that same thing with Barack. I think we kind of was like, yo, man, he's the first black guy.
He's first black, let him.
Gotta let him cook a little bit. He can't really, like he's not really, you know what I mean? It's almost like the first black person, like the first CEO or the first executive VP of a company is like, yo, man, he may be on a tight leash. So I think we're not gonna make that same. Or we're going to be a lot more aggressive.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's where I see things going.
Joe Biden got on Twitter. His shit boring.
Well, I think it should be boring. His ass shouldn't be on Twitter. He should be making shit happen.
He posted on Twitter. I was like, when he posted on Twitter, I was like, fuck, this is going to be boring.
Like Barack was cool with being cool because shit wasn't the way it is now.
Yeah.
Shit is too stressful right now for niggas trying to be cool on Twitter. I don't want to see it was like a memes and shit of like Joe when he was Joe Biden as a vice president, when he was getting out of the car like all swaggy and shit. Them days over now. we in shambles right now, nigga.
Yeah,
we don't need
do that.
Yeah, so not the time and a place. Time and a place. So
well, get ready for these 4 years, ladies and gentlemen. It's gonna be a wild. I don't think it's gonna be wild, but I do think we're gonna see a lot of changes. I think a lot of changes are going to happen structurally.
Well, I mean, I'm sorry.
Oh, I was going to say, I think a lot of people are going to end up re-examining just their take on politics, because I feel like now it's like you said, we did the legwork. Y'all annoyed us, y'all text us, and so now I think it's going to cause people to actually start looking into things such as policies and just reading more, because I think that's like one of the biggest issues is there's so much false information out there. So a lot of people don't be researching shit, but I think now it's like, okay, we really got to see what's going on now, because y'all already witnessed what could happen. You witnessed the Capitol shit. You like, that's the thing. I think this time we have examples of like what happens when you don't pay attention to your leadership. We have that now.
Yeah, I think even just beyond the vote, and I think we can kind of move on from this, but
yeah,
even just beyond the vote is the holding accountable. And I think that the challenge is going to be with the media and not allowing them to have a narrative that is like coddling the current president and giving like excuses for, like we got to be objective. And I think the dangerous thing I do kind of fear is that you're either with us or you're against us type of shit. So where if you speak out ill of Joe Biden, or if you speak ill of a John Ossoff or Warnock or obviously, Kamala Harris, or if you speak ill of these people are too tied to the party and not to the policies and not to the promises. Like, we shouldn't be that attached to the people like that, to where it's like we will blindly, and this is not even just with politics, but just in general. Like, when we like people, we tend not to press them the same way as with people we don't like.
Right.
So we got to remember that these people don't know us. They got what they got what they wanted. Joe, he got his votes, so we got to stay on his neck.
All right. Well, we can conclude there. Either way, congratulations to Joe Biden, Kamala, that entire cabinet, and I guess we'll just see what you do.
We'll see. We'll be up to date, of course. So
definitely want my stimmy though.
Yeah, we need that.
We need that stimmy.
On God. What else is going on in the world, man? You finally caught up on WandaVision? So.
Well, you go first, because I just did the inauguration.
No, it's fine. So we've been watching. Well, I've already caught up on WandaVision, and I know you just recently kind of watched all 3 episodes.
Yeah.
And right now, man, I must say the 3rd episode. To be honest with you, this was the one I was saying to myself, okay, they need to start moving.
Y'all better start cooking.
Yeah, I need to start moving this shit along. Like, the first 2 episodes, okay, you got a little bit of intrigue, just enough to kind of give me a glimpse of what might be happening. But the 3rd episode, I thought they really did good to move stuff forward. And I'm trying to say this without doing spoilers for the audience. So I'm speaking vaguely for y'all, really, because I done seen it, but I'm trying to be respectful. I do like I'm gonna phrase it like this. The differences in the episodes, as far as like the things that certain details, as far as like how they're shot, the different ratios they're using to reflect.
Yeah, I noticed that they changed the aspect ratio a couple times,
and I think that's done to reflect certain elements of each episode. And I like the way it's progressing. They're kind of giving you, under the guise of still sitcom format, but they're kind of giving you trinkets of things that could be going on behind the scenes, if you will. So even the tone, like the tone kind of moves away from the comedic element as certain things are revealed.
Mm-hmm.
And you're starting to, like the 3rd episode towards the end, where Scarlet Witch is something said to her, and her reaction is like, what did you say? And like, you could tell, like, the tone was just like, oh shit. And even going on, like, what was going on outside of that with Vision and the neighbors, and it's like things that were like, there was that tension of like, all right.
And what she said was wild. Like,
yeah.
The way she said it, I was like, ooh,
just out of pocket.
It was like, oh, now we about to like
out of pocket. Yeah.
Like, we can't say it because Cedric didn't see it.
Yo, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm speaking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm speaking very generally about it. But there was once things were revealed, and you kind of can, even like on Visions and speaking to the neighbors, and you see like the one of the neighbors is saying something, and
then he's like starting to cut the brick.
Yeah. So I think a lot of the theory, and this is not really anything new, but a lot of the theory is that this particular reality Wanda has created, and there seems to be, in my estimation, it seems to be people who are trying to tap into that, or trying to. That's
kind of like where I'm going with this.
So that's kind of what I'm realizing, and of course, the end of the episode, you kind of see what goes on with one of the characters, at the very end, as we talked about. So my only, if I had I don't want to say a gripe, but if you're gonna have the half-hour episodes. Number one, well, pardon me. If you're gonna have the 22-minute episodes with 8-minute credits,
those things aren't half hours.
Like, just give me all 10.
Yeah,
just give me all 10. If they were maybe 45 minutes to an hour, then I can kind of live with the weekly drops. Because I do hope they continue to move this thing along, because I think that's what's gonna really help them going into the next few episodes.
Yeah,
is just the pacing and what they got going on. I think we're kind of moving a little bit further away from the comedic undertones and getting into like the meat and potatoes of what's actually happening behind the scenes.
I do think that the pace. I do think pacing is key to this show. For what they're doing, pacing is absolutely key. Which is why the more I want the episodes to be longer, but if they did make them longer, it would be harder to retain the element of mystery, which is probably why they have them the way they are. But if you are going to do them that way, they do need to be released all at once. Yeah. I shouldn't wait a week for 22 minutes of a show.
You know why Barry was cool? Because they released the whole season, and it was even though it was 30 minutes. But, but that's kind of like my only gripe with it. I do, like I said, I do like the take that the way that they're telling the story. It's an intriguing take, and
definitely,
I'm excited I am excited to see what's gonna happen in the future episodes. So far, man, I'm satisfied. So 3 episodes in, it's on Disney Plus. If you guys didn't know that, so check it out for sure.
I like that Marvel's kind of like they're just experimenting. They're like, we don't care if you like it or not. We're just gonna do what we do. I think that's the point they hit for real. They're just like, we'll just do what we want to do. And if you're on board with it, you're on board. If you're not, you're not.
One of the other things, I agree with that. One of the other things, and I wanted to get what you think about this. Do you think that this series is new audience friendly? Or do you think it's very much you got to kind of know to know?
This is a very, you got to know. This... Especially with the show.
That would kind of be my only. So that would kind of be maybe my only other. I'm not gonna say gripe because I do kind of know, but if I was someone who didn't know anything about Scarlet Witch or Marvel, I would really feel like
lost.
What the fuck?
Like, why are you watching this?
Yeah.
Like, what do you see? And that's actually, so I watched it with my girl, and she was just like, I don't get what's so special about the show. Like, little shit was happening. Like even like the commercial cutaways. Where they show like the Hydra watch, and I'm like, oh shit, and then she's like, it's just a watch, and it's like, okay, like, I think
peasant,
but Marvel kind of started doing that. I would say Marvel started straying away from attracting new people since I would say Infinity War. I think once they hit Infinity War, they were like, okay, look, if you didn't watch all 22 of the other movies, then you're just on your own because. Like, even, like, with things such as the callbacks and stuff that they do, I think they're just hit a point now. And, I mean, it's $1 billion. They make over $1 billion, like, on, 5 of their movies? So they're probably like, how is it possible that you haven't seen at least something? Mm-hmm. So, and that's probably just where they are. Yeah. So, once you make $1 billion, it's like, whatever at that point.
And they probably, and now that I asked the question, they probably don't care, like.
No, they don't care.
I don't give a fuck, nigga.
Yeah, like
if people watch this movie,
if you weren't with us before, we don't care if you wasn't with us, if you ain't with us now. Like, I think that's where they are.
Uncultured swine.
So
yeah,
but honestly, I prefer that way. I think I prefer that.
I don't mind it. But the reason the example that you brought up was kind of the thing that made me ask it because my girl's not really into Marvel like that.
Yeah,
and sometimes when you're watching a show with someone else. You're going to kind of see the difference in enjoyment level because it's like, you know what's going on, so you like it. They don't know what's going on, and they probably don't like it. But when they don't like it, you're like, oh, you don't know what's going on. And it's like,
but you know what's funny is normally you say that stuff, and it's not the truth. But this time,
no, it's kind of
literally the truth is like, no, you just don't understand the implications of this.
That's funny because people do tend to use that not excuse, but they tend to use that reasoning sometimes when it's
when it's not even
when it's not that good. It's like, well, you kind of got to understand what's going on with the background of the like. No, I understand it, but it's just. But no, this is very much I think is a certain elements for sure. But I think, like I said, if you're on the surface,
like the Ultron reference, like it's like okay, if you don't know what he's talking about, then
yeah. So yeah,
I prefer it. I prefer this because, to be honest, and I don't know, I prefer them doing this way because I feel like if you sit here and try to worry about attracting new people, it's going to limit your writing. Which is why I think we have a show like WandaVision, because I think they just don't care about attracting new people anymore.
Yeah.
They're just like, okay.
And the conversations are basically being had. Like if you look at all like the reviews about the show, it's people who are pretty much in the know. It's not like a new user. It's people who are like, so you get like different perspectives and different things that people have pointed out in the episodes that I didn't even realize.
Yeah,
so,
there's a lot of stuff that I didn't catch.
Yeah. So they give like a lot of those. You get like a lot of those, like not even just episode reviews, but like the Easter eggs you might have missed type of deal.
And it's a lot of Easter eggs.
Yeah,
I didn't realize how many Easter eggs on that damn show.
Yeah, so it's a ton. It's a ton. So, yeah, man, it's a great show. Great show. I watched a few movies. I'm not gonna go through all of them, but what do you think about the Netflix doing the weekly releases?
I think they're trying to compete with HBO Max.
So. I do too. Now, see, I'm kind of confused. Not confused, but I know last week was the Outside the Wire, which I did watch, and I'm not gonna stay on it too long because I know you didn't watch it.
I mean, I'm not gonna watch it.
But yeah. So Outside the Wire, which stars Anthony Mackie, who plays Falcon and the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and Damson Idris, who plays, most people would know him as Franklin from Snowfall. And pardon me. So without telling too much of the movie, Damson Idris' character is a drone pilot. He kind of fucks up a mission. So his punishment is being sent to this base in, I think, the Ukraine, and he is assigned to work with Anthony Mackie's character, who, from the trailer, you can tell he is some sort of android, cyborg type of bio-organic. Again, think of like Terminator, if you will. And they have a mission they're trying to achieve, and within the mission there's certain things, of course. Anytime you think of artificial intelligence, anytime you think of artificial intelligence,
just think time travel.
Just think of, well, not even that, but just think of like motherfuckers start wilding.
Shit's gonna hit the
fan. Them niggas think they ain't no different than us. they lie, they cheat, and they steal just like us. They pieces of shit too. So just think about it like that. So there's elements of Training Day I get from this movie. From like it's funny, like the cyborg teaching the drone pilot nigga like skills and shit. And then there's like Terminator type of vibe. So it's a solid watch. There's certain things about this movie that are funny to me. Like, well, I don't know why folks would make a black cyborg and just put him somewhere and think he wasn't gonna start wilding.
Yeah, I don't get that either. That's weird.
Which is kind of funny, but it's cool. But it's a solid watch. I think it's like just under 2 hours. But yeah, it's a good watch.
I was reading this article. Oh, wait, I don't want to take away from the movies you were watching. Okay, I was reading this article about how these streaming services are like losing a lot of money because what's happening is people are signing up for these 7-day trials just to watch one thing, and then they binge it and then they leave. But I guess like since the pandemic happened, it's been like a bigger. I guess they used to be able to just swallow it before because it was like, okay, whatever. Because most of you are going to retain your subscriptions because your lives are so busy. But now people's lives aren't busy, and I think they're starting to pay attention to the amount of bills they're paying with streaming services. So people are just doing these free trials, like just to watch Wonder Woman, and then they'll cancel. And they're saying how like it's an issue with a lot of these streaming services they're trying to figure out. Do you think streaming services are just going to collapse at one point? Like they're all going to just start merging into one big company? Like it's only going to be like a Netflix, a Hulu, and one other one, and we're just done.
I mean, I think they'd be all right. I think what's crazy is there was a talk a few years ago about Netflix being in danger, and they were supposed to be like on the ropes of like going under and shit like that.
Because they announced Disney Plus.
Mm-hmm.
They like, how they gonna compete with Disney Plus?
Yeah. I think that you have to also remember too. There's other means of watching movies. I will not recommend those means because some of them are not legal. But people are finding other ways to watch content that don't require them to pay money.
Yeah.
And the more people realize that is an option, and they really don't care about the fuck you gonna do. So
what are you gonna do?
So you have that. I have subscribed to Showtime so I can watch Your Honor, but I think they probably got like a month of my money or 2 months of my money.
They came with my Spotify.
But once Really? I got Hulu with my Spotify.
I got this too.
So,
but I got a student account.
Oh well, there you go.
Yeah, there we go.
Punk. But once I finish episode 10 of Your Honor,
you're canceling.
Showtime is bye.
Before you cancel, you should watch that Reagan documentary. The Reagans.
My friend has a way for me to watch it. My friend said I can come. My friend said you can come over. My friend said I can stop by and watch it. So I think I'm gonna do that.
You should watch it. It's actually really interesting. Actually, I'm watching it now. I just hit part 2. I'm like, okay, I'm in.
Yeah. So I'll check that out. Which, for the record, Your Honor is a phenomenal show.
I still haven't watched it.
It's good, man. It's a really good show. It's coming to a head right now. Like, you start to see some of the dominoes are starting to fall, and on the aftermath of what's been going on with the main plot of the story. And it's this last episode, man. Bryan Cranston is a fucking G, man. He's just but
is it a limited series?
It is.
Okay.
It is. Yep.
Because normally when you see those big time actors, it's normally like for a limited series.
I'm gonna tell you right now, bro. I don't know who this guy is that they hired as like the mob dude. He's fucking good, man. He is a really good actor. Like, he is he has like a demeanor about him. Even as a like, supposed to be like one of the most dangerous dudes in New Orleans or Baton Rouge or wherever they're at. Mm-hmm. They still are able to have him as like basically he's kind of like the same thing as like on the flip side of Bryan Cranston's character. Bryan Cranston is doing whatever he can to save his son. He is doing whatever he can to avenge his son's death. So he doesn't look like a mob boss. Like, he looks like basically like a father who's basically wanting answers for his son. Like, why would someone leave my son out to die on the street?
Right.
And yeah, man, he's even like the daughter that they cast. Like, we thought that she was related to the guy. That's how much they look alike. And sometimes when they cast people, they just be casting kids. Just give him a kid. just give him a kid. It'd be funny because a lot of times, like, the kids, like, the parents be like dark as shit, and the kid be like a light skin.
Light skin. Yeah, that's really what would be happening.
Yeah, but Michael Stolbarg, I fucked that up, but yeah, he's the dad in the show of the son who dies. But yeah, man, this is a good show, man. It's a really good show. I think there's like 3 episodes left, and I would highly recommend it.
You said you also watched the Tiger documentary?
Oh yeah. So I watched I watched the first part of it.
Part 1.
I watched the first part of the Tiger documentary, and yeah, man, it's good. It really, and you know, it's funny because I asked you that question last week about like how hard would you push your kid or something like that. So like something in the realm of what we were talking about, and this really was like this was like kind of, I mean, I don't think I would do like his dad did, but
yeah,
this is kind of like one of the things that I was like, you know, what parents wrestle with, and just even like just learning about his dad and what his dad did like in the military, and you know, like the things that he did, and I'm like, yo, man, this is. So I'm watching it. Hell, even like his mom, like the way his
mom was in it too. Yeah.
The way his mom talked about like the type of strict discipline she had on him as far as like.
Yep.
So, you know, I know people look at Tiger and they just, you know, they see like what he did and his with his marriage, and they just see like he's rich and he's comes off as like a douche, and but to some people, of course,
right.
But just watching the first part of the documentary, like it pieces a lot of things together about like his personality and the way that he is.
It explains.
Yeah, so it just pieces together a lot of just kind of how his demeanor is. I thought it was really good. I thought it was a good balance of they didn't put him on a pedestal. They didn't shit on him either, which, well, I haven't seen the second part yet, but
I think that's what I liked about it. They achieved that balance of not putting him all the way up, but also not shitting. That's a hard balance to maintain for a lot of documentaries.
Well, yeah, I think with documentaries, I think there shouldn't be like any real bias. I think you're supposed to just kind of tell the story. Just tell us about the person. You get the insight from people that knew him or even the person themselves. And so far, like I said, it's a good watch. It's a good watch. So I'm gonna try to catch the second half this week sometime. For sure. But it's good. It's good. I like it. I like it a lot. What else besides WandaVision have you had a chance to watch?
Well, I'm rewatching this. I'm watching The Sopranos. I told you.
There you go with that. How's that going for you? How far are you with that?
I'm only on the 5th episode. It's good though.
Oh no, I
be tuned in. Hey, when I sit there, that's the thing though. I watched like the first 4 episodes straight. Mm-hmm. When I watch The Sopranos though, like I can't get up. That's the thing. It's like once I start one, it's okay. Next, because it's a good ass show. I don't know how I let this one fly, but I can see why it's considered the show that made HBO. Like the more I watch it, I can see, because a lot of shows now, like when I look back, if I go back and watch them, like it's kind of weird looking at them because like the test of time, I guess, like writing changes, the focus changes, technology got better, but for some reason, like I don't feel any of that with this show.
Well, I think there's certain shows you could kind of tell, even like with like shows that are like I don't want to say pioneers, but like shows that are like kind of the first to kind of introduce certain things, or like the poster child of like a certain element of whether it be like writing or storytelling, and then you have people who are able to replicate that with a different spice. I think you still appreciate the origin, or like the one of the shows that people look to as far as like storytelling, or just hell, they do. I remember when The Wire came out, they had motherfuckers like professors doing like classes on like that show. You know what I'm saying? Like the thing about The Wire, which in my opinion, and a lot of people's opinions, is the best show ever made, is it's the way they tell a story. They basically, if there was a antagonist of the story, it's like it literally is the system, like from law enforcement to like the dope game, like just that whole situation that in Baltimore, and they just kind of show how it connects and affects people in different sides of the law. So it's just a great way of how they illustrate it. And I think that thing, again, to me, writing is always going to be the most important part of a show. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
something just hit me that I want to talk about, but let's keep talking about the shows. I'll come back.
No, that was it. Just basically.
Did you hear about Armie Hammer?
I didn't read it, but I heard something that it involved him, and I guess something he said or something he did.
Yeah, it's some weird shit, man.
Well, I like Armie Hammer, so.
Well, basically, Armie Hammer. I guess there was some woman that he was intimate with, and I guess like he's into like cannibalistic shit. So
he ate her booty.
No. He was typing some pretty weird shit, man. Like, one of the things he said was like, He was like, I want to own you and you live for me, and then when you die, and so you die. Like, it was some weird
man,
shit.
He doing a script, man. He's in character. He's in character, bro. He's in character, man.
This man, Armie Hammer has some weird shit going on, bro. Like, she dropped the text, and I was reading them. Oh, here we go. You just live to obey me and be my slave. I will own you. That's my soul, my brain. Would you come and be my property till you die? If I wanted to cut off one of your toes and keep it with me in my pocket, so I always had it in one of you. Come on, man. You want to keep going?
Did she share that?
She shared this, but here's the thing. She sent. I guess he didn't. He has a history of this because a bunch of women started coming out and was like, now I kind of become weary when a bunch of women come out and say it.
But all right, so let me shoot him a little bit of bail. All right, did he actually eat one of these bras? Did he actually cut a toe off? That may be his. I feel like the same way you are on one side of the slave spectrum, I am on the other side of the master spectrum. I can't ever imagine another slave. Are they black women?
I don't. Well, this one was white. But.
Oh, these are right then. Yeah, white slaves. what's the big deal? White people shit, man.
I decide what you eat, when you sleep, when you shit, when you use the.
Like, cause this is my thing. All right, they got text messages. If you give me like actual proof, like, yo, he did start me. Yo, he had me tied up in a fucking cage for like 8 hours. Then yeah, you got something. But he's texting like wild shit. I mean, it's weird. It's weird. Don't get me wrong, but I just hate. That's.
I do think it's lame to leak.
That's corny as shit.
Yeah, man. I think it's kind of corny to leak that kind of stuff
because he's probably in a space to where we don't even like I said. If you say he's getting it off to several different women, that might just be his thing. He talks crazy and gets in his. Look, man, people talk about being freaky, but that's what I'm saying. People gotta have their definition of freaky. This nigga's on a different.
This nigga talking about I'll cut your toes off.
You brought.
You gotta know.
The problem is you brought not ready. Y'all say you don't want a freaky nigga till y'all get.
Till y'all get a real freaky guy.
Y'all get Armie Hammer and he with the business, and all of a sudden, this is a bit much. But I honestly, I'm just talking shit. But to be my take on it is. He's speaking in confidence to a young woman, and she can very much be like, I'm not really comfortable. And I'm sure he probably would be like, all right, if I did you any type of discomfort, I apologize. Because I don't see what's her response? What is she saying to this?
That's the thing. That was where I became weary of this. It was all messages from him. But I didn't see any of her responses.
That's what I'm saying. So now, so basically, we're literally only getting we're getting a framework of, all right, I'm gonna post this to make him look wild. So, excuse me. Yeah, I'm whatever. It's. I feel like she's leaving parts out. Whoever posted this shit is leaving parts out. He ain't talking to himself.
Right.
So, have my toe, king. You can
have my toe.
have my toe. I'll be your slave. You like come on. We not getting the other half where she's like with the business.
I think it's gonna be interesting. I'm just following this because
I know how screenshots work, man. I know how screenshots and photos and like you could screenshot shit and then cut shit out to make shit look funny.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like it's not enough evidence for me to. I need more context. I need more.
What if it turns out he's a cannibal?
Then that's okay. Then now we got something.
We gotta get this nigga out the paint.
Yeah, now we got something.
It's time to get this nigga out the paint.
Now we got something.
I do. That's kind of how I felt. I was like, text messages. I need something a little bit. But apparently there's some secret Instagram, some leaked Instagram video going around too. I didn't look at it yet. I only got to the text message part. But there's some leaked Instagram video. Like, I don't know, man. Armie Hammer just getting it right now. And it's such a random celebrity, Armie Hammer.
I like Armie.
I like Armie.
I like Armie.
I didn't.
I thought I had him as a candidate for playing Batman. I thought he'd been a good Batman candidate.
Who plays Batman though?
Pattinson.
Armie Hammer. Wait, who plays Superman?
Who plays Superman? It ain't Cavill.
Henry Cavill. That's what it was.
Oh, you thought Armie Hammer would be a good Superman?
I don't know, man. They kind of look alike to me.
They played a movie together.
They did. They played
Uncle.
A Man from U.N.C.L.E., which is a very underrated movie.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
They look alike.
They look similar.
They're two
Two distinguished white
two
gentlemen.
distinguished white gentlemen.
Nice jawlines. two GQ niggas. And you know what I'm saying? They're probably really good. I'm sure Henry Cavill got some shit in his inbox. He probably come on, man.
Man, Henry Cavill probably got some wild. Henry Cavill look like he got
You know
some
why?
wild
Because
shit.
in his interviews, he's such a good guy. He's such a nice guy, which I know which means he got some shit in his inbox. So,
speaking of that, we ain't got to dive in this. Did you see that Superman and Lois trailer?
I saw that there was a trailer. I saw when I actually got
It's
here.
like, it looks like a Superman show for emotionally deprived people. Emotionally overly. It's a Superman soap opera.
Yeah,
That's kind of where I'm that's kind of where I'm getting at with this.
no, I haven't seen it.
All right. It's nothing to dive into. I was just wondering if you saw it. But yeah, so Armie Hammer, man. I don't know, man. I hope you're not a cannibal, I guess.
Because that's what I want to see. He just talking some wild freaky shit.
Yeah, we can forget the text.
Who leaked that shit anyway? Get her out the paint.
That's what we really need to start doing.
Get her out the paint.
Did you see that? Remember that Dave Chappelle stand up? It was a recent one where he was like, every time I see a scandal, I wonder. He's like, I'm a victim blamer. You remember that part? He's like, well, what did she do?
I'm just saying, man. Like, niggas just don't like wake up one day and say, yo, I'm gonna get her inbox talking greasy.
Say it one more time.
I'm just saying, people don't wake up one day and say, yo, I'm gonna just start getting her
Yeah.
inbox. Like, there's a report. Like, there has to be some established boundaries to where he feels like, because again, if a reasonable woman reads this shit and is like, her response is like, yo, what the fuck are you talking about? Unless she is also on board.
And that's the thing. I'm like, when I read it, I was like, I refuse to believe this man just woke up this day and just said, yo, give me your toes. Like, shit don't work that way.
And then her first response is, and her first course of action is to like screenshot it and post it.
I don't know. Cancel culture.
Well, I mean,
they not.
I don't even know what that is. I don't even know
I
what that
don't
is. Like,
I don't even think this is really what's going to do it. To be honest,
this is like a. I don't. That's what I'm saying. I just don't. I just don't even understand. Like, what was the desired result that she wanted to have from this? We still don't know who you are. I don't know who this lady is.
That's very true.
Still don't know. Like, I don't know who you are. I know Armie Hammer.
I found out Armie Hammer was married at one point through this. I didn't even know that.
So, yeah, this is like a. I just don't. And if you have a relationship with Armie Hammer, like you kind of fucked it up. So,
you just messed up. Messed up your way in.
Yeah, like you just. Not seeing the logic, but I don't really have anything more on that. We sent our rest in pieces to the two kings. We got some football tomorrow. We got some. It's coming down to the wire. We got. How old is Aaron Rodgers? Is he old? I know he's not the oldest.
Like
I know he's
32. Maybe.
Oh, really? I thought he was.
Will he be older than that?
A little bit older.
36. He's not. But
I know he's not old as Tom. I know he's not.
Our breed.
37.
37.
I was gonna say, yeah, he's older. So 2.0, No Country for Oldish Men. Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers in the NFC Championship game. And then in the AFC, we got Josh Allen versus Patrick. Well, not just Josh Allen, but Bills and Chiefs. AFC. I think the Bills and Chiefs game is the later game. And pardon me. We're gonna give just a couple of thoughts.
Do you think if Tom Brady loses, that people are going to be say he can't win without Belichick?
No, I think if he would have missed the playoffs, they would have said that.
I think the uninformed will say that. But I think if you actually follow football and you see the type of tear that Aaron Rodgers is on, you wouldn't say that.
Well, not even just that, but the narrative now is Bill Belichick can't make the playoffs without Tom Brady.
Yeah,
so
that's really what the narrative is.
So, I mean, that's more of Belichick's cross the bear. I think Tom Brady's in good position, even if they lose. They losing to a motherfucker who playing out of his mind right now.
Playing out, yeah, dude, not even playing like a human right now.
So, no, I think Brady's good. I think Brady is they in good. They in good spirits. They in good, narrative wise, he's good. Now I do think they're gonna take an L. Like I said, I think Aaron Rodgers is just he in a different space right now. I think, like I said, ever since they drafted that quarterback, he was like, man, y'all motherfuckers done lost your mind.
Yeah, I don't. I think. Also, I don't think that Tampa Bay defense can handle. I don't think because I think Green Bay's offense is actually better than their defense.
I can see that.
And also, I think just the chemistry that the Green Bay has right now, it's just I don't know. It's just too much shit clicking for them right now.
Who's his number one guy? Devontae Adams.
Devontae Adams.
Yeah. So, yeah, man. Green Bay is just they in another space right now, man. I think. I do think it'll be a close game. I think both of these games will be close.
Yeah, but, I think it'll go down to the wire for sure.
Yeah, man. I think I went a little high on the scores last week, so I'm gonna go a little lower. So I'm gonna say 24-17 for the Green Bay game.
What do you think are the determining factors for that game? Like, what do you think is going to dictate that game?
Well, I don't think. Well, let me back up, because I do think that. Well, actually, I think the Green Bay and game might be higher, because I think what's gonna happen is they basically gonna try to keep Tom Brady off the field. Mm-hmm. So, and like you said, their defense is not the greatest. So I think they're gonna be able to keep possession of the ball for longer periods of time, and just run the clock, keep Tom Brady off the field, keep him out of rhythm. I think they're also gonna. I mean, I don't know if they could really do it with AB, but just keep things uncomfortable for Tom Brady. I think that's gonna be the main thing. Is just hit him a little bit, let him.
I think this whole game is gonna come down to who takes the most risk. I think that's really what's gonna determine who wins.
Well, I feel like Tampa Bay would probably hesitate.
That's what I'm saying. I think Tampa Bay is gonna hesitate to just take risk, and I think Green Bay is gonna come out there like, nah, we're here to beat y'all.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I really think, like I said, I think.
Have they ever played each other?
As a
just
this year?
Anytime. Rodgers and Brady, have they ever played each other?
I'm sure they have. I don't know how many times, but
it can't be that many times. I don't know. It was something I just thought about.
But yeah, man. Like I said, I think Green Bay is gonna go ahead and pull this game out. I think in the fourth quarter, Brady will try to make a run, but it'll stop just short. Like I said, 24-17 is my score.
24-17. I think it'll be 35-28.
They've played against each other 4 times.
4 times. Okay, how about it couldn't have been that many times
previously.
4 times. I knew it wasn't that many. Like, it was no way.
Let's go to the AFC. We got the Bills, who we've been kind of talking about this year as being I don't want to say sleeper, because like I said, I think people they've kind of been seeing the Bills come up on the radar. I think I would say more like the dark horse. So
the Bills is the team that shouldn't have made it.
I see. I look at that a little bit differently. I think the Bills are the team that just needed Tom Brady to get the fuck up out of the AFC East.
Yeah, that's true.
So like, cause they have been knocking on the door for the past couple of years.
Yeah.
So they've been slowly bubbling. So it wasn't like this year they came out of nowhere. I think even last year they had like a 9-6 record.
Oh yeah, they did. They did.
So they've been creeping for a while. It's just that, again, when you don't have to play Tom Brady twice a year, that can help you out. And then I think the Stephon Diggs trade
that's a major one. That's a big one.
That was a big pickup for them. And just seeing him and Josh Allen have been able to connect, and yeah, man. I mean, we know what the Chiefs are, so I mean, I don't really have to say too much about the Chiefs, but like I said, I think right now the Bills have the confidence in the world, all the confidence in the world right now. I think they feel like they can. I mean, I did pick the Chiefs to win, and I'm gonna stand on that. But what I will say is I wouldn't be surprised if the Bills won.
What did you think? You watched the Browns game, right? When they played the Browns,
Chiefs and the Browns.
Yeah. What was your reaction? What's the backup name? I forgot his name.
The Kansas City backup.
Yeah.
Chad Henne.
What was your reaction when you saw Chad Henne?
What you mean? Like, just
this nigga still here? Like, I know that's what I was thinking.
That's what he's there for. I mean, that's like
Chad. I don't even. They said that was his first time in throwing a playoff pass. How long has Chad Henne been in the NFL? It's been a while.
Yeah, I mean, when you get to a certain point in your career, you kind of know what you are. Like, self-awareness is a great thing. So he did what he needed to do that game. He picked up a couple of key first downs, and
that interception he threw was crazy though.
Yeah, it was.
That interception he threw was crazy.
Yeah,
that had to be the most. I was on the edge the entire game. I'm not a fan of either one of those teams, but my God.
It was exciting. It was an exciting game. Very exciting. But yeah, I mean, he did what he did. Ultimately, he did what he needed to do. But like I said, they better hope. They kind of better hope Mahomes is ready to rock and roll. So
I mean, because honestly, Cleveland was right there with them. That was the thing.
Well,
I really think what saved Kansas City were those refs.
Yeah,
I really think that.
That game was a very. I mean, and you're gonna get stuff like that too, especially when you are like a underdog team, you're kind of playing against the team that you're playing against, and then you're also playing against the Stripes.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just kind of the nature of the business. I thought that fumble, which was a lot of people thought was a helmet to helmet.
Yeah, that was a crazy call.
So that was a very, very pivotal call.
That defensive pass interference happened on that same drive, I think.
Another pivotal call. So, it's different elements, but I think the Bills, they're gonna make this tough for sure. But I just see Kansas City. They are gonna find a way to kind of pull it out, and they're gonna score wise.
I think it's gonna be a high scoring game. I think it'll be high. It's either gonna be that game is only gonna go two ways in my head. It's either gonna be really high scoring or it's gonna be all defensive.
Well, I got it. Oh yeah, I got it kind of like 17-14. Kansas City.
Damn, that's low.
Yeah. Could be wrong, but I mean the last week's game was low scoring. So what, 17-22?
I'll do 20. I'll do 24. 24-22. Bills.
All right. So we'll see, man. We'll see. Like I said, it's gonna be some good games. It's gonna be very exciting.
I think both of these games are gonna be great. Like I really do. I'm looking forward to it. What did you think? Did we talk about Breeze's last game?
No, because it wasn't.
What did you think of Breeze's last game?
Didn't play good, but
he went out like Dan Marino. That was like Dan Marino's last game.
Yeah, he didn't play good, but I mean, I definitely see. I mean, I can see him. I can understand why he wanted to play.
I think he's gonna come back. I don't think he's really gonna let his career end on that game. I really don't.
I agree.
And they're not gonna stop him if he decides to come back either.
I mean, yeah. I mean, they're gonna. I think you let a guy like that go out and you let him go out on his sword.
Yeah.
You let him go out on his sword for sure. Speaking of which, we do have a not an announcement, but Phillip Rivers retired.
Oh yeah.
After 17 years.
Did you cry?
No, but it was. I like Phillip Rivers a lot. Being a Chargers fan, I like him a lot. He kind of gives me, like I said, he's like a great value Brett Favre to me in terms of his demeanor and the way he throws some crazy balls, man.
Phillip Rivers throws some wild shit.
He throws some crazy shit.
That's
man.
true.
So definitely an exciting player to watch. One thing that used to piss me off is like a lot of the games that Phillip Rivers has been involved in, even in the losses, they've come down to like the last fucking drive, or like the last few minutes of the game.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's one thing to get blown out and get just ran out the field, but it's another thing when like the Chargers got to go 90-something yards for a touchdown. Phillip Rivers will get them to like 84 yards and then turnover on downs. that would be the thing that would piss me off, man. It wouldn't like it would be one thing is like you got your ass kicked, go home, but he giving us hope. He give you hope.
He's good for that too.
Right into the red zone, and all of a sudden, it's a turnover on downs, man, or an interception. Like, you son of a bitch. And then of course,
what a career.
Takes his helmet off with his little fucking ass. But no, definitely salute to Phillip Rivers. Very, very incredible career. I do, and we talked about this off mic. I do believe he will be a Hall of Famer. I do not believe it will be a first ballot. I believe it'll probably be close to maybe a third ballot. But if you ain't, you in. So
that's all that matters. Once you're in, you're in.
But I do think he will. Be in the Hall of Fame. So salute to him.
Yep. Congrats, man. Go live your life. Go take all that money and start a charity or something.
No, he got to raise some fucking kids.
Oh yeah. How many kids he got?
He got like 9 kids.
Shit.
Every offseason he got a baby.
So he ain't even retiring. This nigga about to just go to another occupation.
Yeah, dad.
This ain't no retirement.
Fucking Pee-wee coach. He got a fucking football team at the house. So
that's crazy.
Yeah. Every year he had a kid. Not every year, but like his later years, he got he had the stable. So, yeah, man. So a little bit of NBA talk. The Nets just lost the last 2 games against the Cavs. People are going into a frenzy. This is actually those games were their first 2 games with their actual big 3.
And lost to the Cavs.
They lost to the Cavs one night in double overtime. Colin Sexton was balling though. He was cooking. That boy had 42. That boy had 22 in overtime. He was cooking. And then they lost last night. And their lack of defense is glaring. I think that is going to be a big issue for them. I don't think offense is.
The NBA doesn't play defense anymore.
But the thing is, they don't. But they can't be losing to the Cavs. So it's like they can't be losing to the Cavs.
You can't have that team. You got to lose to the Cavs.
Yeah. One thing I think is going to have to happen is the 2 primary scorers are going to have to be James Harden and Kevin Durant. Kyrie can't be. Kyrie is too much of a like the thing about that I kind of forgot about James Harden. He does pass the ball. Mm-hmm. He does his ISO shit, but he will pass the ball. He had like a triple double, I think, the game before Kyrie got back,
and
I think he did have double-digit assists in the game that they lost, if I'm not mistaken. But James Harden will facilitate and pass the ball. Kyrie is too much of a he's a ball stopper, man. I think they're gonna have to sort that out. They're gonna try to have to get Kyrie to shoot like less than 20 shots.
That's not gonna be easy.
It's gonna be a tough. A tough ask because he does a lot of stuff where the ball doesn't move. He's just kind of dancing on people, and he's a baller. Don't get me wrong, but that ball got to move, man. That ball got to move. And like you said, defense is not really a part of the NBA the way it was in the past. But you y'all shouldn't let Colin Sexton cook y'all. And I like Colin Sexton, but I'm saying like, and you know what I'm saying. And I just one of y'all got to be like, yo, I'm on him.
That's a bad L.
Because
to take 2 losses, like if you take one because it's your first time together, fine, whatever.
Well, yeah, I mean they're gonna lose games, right? So I'm like, all right. So the first one, I'm like, all right, it was double overtime. Boy, with Colin was cooking. You know what I'm saying? So I let it rock.
We let that rock.
You know what I mean? But you have a same team you just played. You know, and in the midst of, and people also, we got to remember too, still with a new head coach, and what happens when he wants to make changes that Kyrie ain't cool with. So, just things we got to look out for.
He's burning sage.
Yeah, man.
And on his car.
Yeah, man. It's just things we got to look out for, man. Other than that, not too much NBA news. I did hear something that they may be considering getting the players. Oh no! Let me back up. They have a no hugging rule now. They've hired security to enforce.
I can't wait.
A no hugging rule. So basically, the players cannot meet like before games with like opposing players. They can't meet to like dap it up and hug it out. And then they're even trying to discourage like even amongst your own teammates, like high fives, like when at the free throw line, for example, when someone makes a free throw and the players do all that high five and shit. They're trying to deter that.
But what's the point? They're gonna touch each other.
I just don't see that's what I don't understand.
What's the point?
Like they're talking about like contact tracing and shit like that, but I'm like, yo, you're playing y'all sweating on each other for 48 minutes. Like
if you want to prevent them from dapping people in the crowd, well, there's no crowd.
There's no crowd. There's no.
Well, what the fuck? I don't get the issue. I don't get what they're trying to do now.
So which is in addition to the players are already tested. So they're already getting tested.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure, like
before the games.
Yeah, I'm sure probably like maybe 5 or 6 times a week. So they're getting constantly tested, and then on top of that, you're trying to implicate a rule that seems weird in the context of if they play a game that is not a contact sport, but they're in close proximity of each other.
Yeah,
breathing on each other, touching each other. You know what I'm saying?
So what exactly is pre-game security?
So
that's weird.
So I'm just not understanding that. I don't get it. You know, it's make it make sense. If we're in that big of a dire straits,
end the season,
just cancel the shit. That's what I'm saying.
End the season.
So you want to either let them play or you cancel the shit. So you put all these parameters in. So the things that they got applauded for during the playoffs last year, having the bubble, having the testing. It seems like this year they're kind of just
fuck it.
They just like I don't know what the fuck going on. So, I mean, you have the things where they're doing like the virtual interviews. They're doing just about everything I think you can do for people to stay safe. And then if someone is traveling somewhere, like Kyrie when he left, they he had his shit and he came back and had to go through his deals to get reacclimated to the team. But it's just I'm just not getting it. So
I can't wait to see the first breakup. Like the first people they actually break up, damn it. Oh, it's gonna be lit.
Yeah, it's like like
I can't wait.
We're gonna have niggas just standing.
Nope.
So
that's gonna be funny. I can't. When does that go into implementation? They already started.
Well, from what I understand, it's like I don't want to say temporary, but it's like I guess it is kind of temporary. It's like a 2-week type of deal. All right. So thank you, sir. It's a 2-week type of deal where they are. It should be sometime this week, sometime soon.
I'm watching that first game. Whichever game that happens in first.
So what happens when niggas fight? They just gonna be.
I'm telling you, man. This is gonna be great. I can't wait to see this.
Don't touch him.
I cannot wait.
Don't touch him.
I can't wait to see how this plays out. I'm curious.
Yeah. So what happens when someone gets ejected? What you gonna do? You gonna touch me? You can't touch me. So yeah, man. So this is
what a weird implementation.
Yeah. So Adam Silver figured it out. All right. Anything else you got?
Isn't it interesting that people who get paid millions upon millions don't come up with like just come up with the simple plot holes are just the holes to anything they do. But then people like us, we're just like, well, what about this? And it's like you just opened up a whole new can. It's like, wait, what?
I'm sure the people who want to ask the right questions are not present, are they? So,
okay. Well, I don't have anything else.
I mean, honestly, and to me, in my opinion, and we'll say this and wrap up, but to me, that's like the players who were like kind of rebelling to the rules. That's kind of maybe their mindset. Like, I'm touching niggas for 48 minutes. Like,
48, yeah. What's the point?
What the fuck is you talking about? Like, so, yeah, man. But we'll see. So, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up for this week's episode. And anything else you want to say before we dip out of here?
Well, can't tell y'all to go vote no more. So be safe. Wear a mask. Don't be an idiot.
There we go.
What about you?
Eat more fiber. So
that's actually
good, solid, sound
advice.
That's
pretty good, solid advice.
Sound advice. Eat more fiber. We thank you all for tuning in to this episode of the Pencil Pushers Project. If you check out the timestamps, you will see, or excuse me, if you check out the description, we'll have timestamps listed below for the topics we discussed today, as well as our social media link to connect with us on social media. If you are watching on YouTube, please give us a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And I am Jay.
I'm Zay.
And we are out of here. Peace.